G'day everyone, I'm Jazza, and in the past I've done a video here or there showing my old artworks from when I was a teenager, and I've always considered myself a bit of an art hoarder. I've held on to pretty much every illustration I've made since I was 11, but what about the illustrations I did before then? So Mum has lent me my childhood treasures box thing. I have got some artworks and some various other things, and I thought I'd take you guys through a little bit of a stroll through my childhood and stroll through it myself, because I have not seen this stuff since I did it. If you're looking for a little bit of context to some of this stuff, it might be worth going to watch the Draw My Life video I did quite a while back. I'll link to that in the description and in the card. But it gives you a bit of a rough overview as to what I saw my childhood as. Look at this. Yeah, no, landscapes never were my thing, were they? But, guys, I've been doing Bob Ross paintings since I first started painting. I mean, look at that. That is Bob Ross in the making. 93. I was 4 years old when I painted that. I mean, I'm gonna say, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but that's not bad for a 4-year-old. I know this is like, look, finding my art, but we have to look at cute little Jazzy Jazza. Look at that. Right, that is the Fresh Prince era right there. You know what's weird? I am as old in that photo as MJ is right now. Now, we made a video the other day making some art together, and that was really fun, but it actually blows my mind looking at this and thinking, that is me where he is now. And I never matured, so, you know. You win some, you lose some. This is what my childhood looked like. I am so grateful that I grew up out in the country with the fresh air and a bit of mud. I stayed indoors a lot and drew pictures and learnt to animate, but also always just being out there made me appreciate just space. And I mean, to this day, I love camping and I love space, but I'm also a bit of a city slicker at heart, so best of both worlds. Oh, wow, look at this. We've got the first vestiges of the cool S that I drew. I've made a video using thousands of cool S's to make a picture. Obviously, this is where it was starting to make a bit of an impact on me. The G.I. Joe. Oh, here we go. Once upon a time, there was a king. His name was Roger. He was very sad because he had no child. The king became happy because for now he had a child. Wow, that's how the tables turn. He interviewed the whole kingdom. The robber was jealous of the child. One day, a G.I. Joe came to Earth, and the robber knew that he would come. So the robber fought the G.I. Joe. The dragon fought the G.I. Joe. When did I introduce the dragon? Just visually. I didn't mention him in the text. But the dragon won, and the G.I. Joe died, even though the dragon turned into a polar bear. And the king put the G.I. Joe in the grave. The G.I. Joe was really alive then. The G.I. Joe shot the bad dragon and other baddies. And other baddies. The end. What happened to the robber? That took me places. That was really an adventure. Not bad. For a 7-year-old, not bad. Is this like a design of a future house? I've got a teleportation booth, super entertainment system, which looks like a very old entertainment system. There's the bed, it's vertical, it's space saving. It's technologically clever though. There's a food creator. We've got a robot maid. That was before feminism really took hold. So even back then my robots were a little misogynistic. Oh my god! Virtual reality. When did I draw this? I was 8 years old. Guys, come on. I'm a visionary. I saw the future. All we need are vertical beds and sexist robots. There's a diagram of crutches, and then there's Bart, and he broke his leg. And there's a picture of Bart Simpson with crutches, and he's saying, I hate crutches. 2 weeks later, there's Bart in bed. And the foot's healing, and then it got better at the end. A truly epic journey. What do we got in here? Oh, we got more little pictures. Oh my god! I say I'm a cool dude. Yes, I do. Look at this. This is the Build-O-Matic. This is where there's the raw materials, I believe. And this is the Rio titanium alloy. It goes along with this, the brushing, the painting, the thing, and the arms that move the things and super duper duper glue. Over here we have the wall base maker, and over here we have the magical thingy. And it makes walls. And it's a house builder. It's only 999,999,999,999,999.99. A steal. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's the camping I remember. Look at that. Setting up tents in the middle of nowhere, four-wheel driving through rivers and making big rope swings into the rivers. Good times. I want to do a bit of that with my kids, except I couldn't four-wheel drive to save my life. There's a lot of photos and stuff. I don't want to bore you too much with photos unless it's somewhat noteworthy. Like here when I had my own motorbike and I was a cool guy. And then I grew up and got an even bigger motorbike, and there's my little brother on my old motorbike. We were both cool guys. About me, I love drawing, and I am destined to become a famous cartoonist and a well-known artist. This is just so fun for me. I think the thing I'm most grateful for and I'm really just enjoying is that I always knew what I loved and who I was, and that I get to do that. Like, I am literally living my childhood dream. It's mind-blowing. Oh my God, I wrote a book! Obviously, I've been working on my story writing skills, and now we're getting a little more professional. The aliens that came to Earth. Once, a long time ago, in the Dark Ages, there were 4 people: Tyler, Joss, Jamie, and Anthony F. Couldn't tell that these were kids I grew up with. One day, they were at the beach, surfing and swimming. After an hour, they went home. At 12 o'clock, they went for a picnic outside and they saw a meteorite. It landed in Sydney. It was too late. Not one standing building except a gun shop. Hang on. I thought this was the Dark Ages. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Let's just suspend disbelief. So all they could do was kick some butt. But before they could even take a step, a huge alien jumped out and he was already prepared to kick their butt. Him! He's got an axe and a hammer and a dagger and aerosol and a match in a tentacle each. So he could have held a flamethrower, but he just went with that, but that's fine. They quickly ran into the gun shop. They gathered up all the weapons they could gather. They also threw some army clothes on. First, Tyler got out his RPG and then shot him in the heart. Nothing happened. He was just even more powerful. The monster grabbed Joss by the leg while Tyler got his laser beam kicked off of the alien's glasses and shined the laser in his eyes. And the alien melted. You see, he found the weak spot. And Tyler said, well, it's time to go home. But then Jamie said, let's make a base. So they did. On the super sensor, it said there was an alien that had heaps of brains. So much brains, he was going to make a city vanish. The city is going to be Maui in rural Victoria. Of course, because if there's an alien spaceship full of brains, the first place they're going to go is out in Australia to deal with the real threats first. They quickly flew to Maui. Then they saw the brain. Then Anthony went up to the monster and said, time to die. But instead the brain zapped Anthony, and then Anthony disappeared. And Josh shouted out, he doesn't like music. How do they come to these conclusions? So Jamie played electric guitar. Tyler danced, and Josh put classical music on full ball. There you go, that's how cool I was. But, you know, of course, the monster burst into flames, so it worked. After that, they tried to find their base, but instead they were lost in a forest. As they were in the dark and gloomy forest, a storm came and Tyler said, there's a perfect tree. It's shady. So they went under the tree and Josh tried to climb to the top to be a lookout, but the last branch he pulled on fell. Suddenly, they were in a base with eyes in it. The eyes catched him, except Tyler was only finger cuffed. And the aliens were like, quick, get the finger cuffs. And then our heroes were clearly trapped. This needs to be a movie. This needs to be a movie. Tyler was only finger cuffed and he knew he could escape easily. But then they saw the slave. Tyler quickly escaped from his finger cuffs and ripped off the other people's cuffs. Then they left and they got the slave eye for information. Then they found out that the eye's name was Max. And he was a human turned into an eye. So they turned him into a normal 9-year-old kid. Max grew up to be a member of the fighting force. And he was an expert at jumping and throwing and lifting. After that, Max, Tyler, Josh, Jamie and Anthony went back to surfing and swimming to the beach. But once they were on the deep end of the ocean, something pulled them under the water. Then suddenly silence. The jail was full of loud footsteps, but it was a beast. They quickly kicked his butt. They were known as the Fighting Force. I mean, I don't know about you, but I have a new favourite. Now we move on to the high school years. Hey, this is the first competition I ever won. A flash animation Story of a Loser, which I animated. You can actually still see it. It's on YouTube. I'll link to that in the description. And I won first prize for my animation. Oh my God, it's Greg! That award night is the night I met my now very good friend, Greg Bartlett, who is an amazing environment artist. We worked together on loads of projects, including The Tale Teller. Greg was the environment artist of that animation project, which took over 10 months and is one of the things I'm most proud of. And it all started there. This is a little more bitter for me. This is, anyone who's watched the Draw My Life video, this is Alex. So, Alex was my best friend in high school. We were very close friends, and a couple of years after high school, she actually died. And this whole process is making me weirdly vulnerable and emotional. I don't want this video to like get heavy, to be honest, and I've excluded some things just because it's more serious than other things. But I think this is one of those things that I feel like I should include, mainly because I've mentioned it before in the Draw My Life video. But also because when I jokingly refer to not having many friends in high school, this was sort of the era I'm referring to. I was pretty socially awkward, and I had one true friend, and that was Alex. And about about 2 years after we graduated, she died in a car crash, and I didn't want this video to get heavy, and this has come out of nowhere, which is probably why it's affecting me so much. But much in the same way that I'm really taken back to how vivid things were in all of these moments, I'm just reminded of how much her friendship mattered to me, and at a time that could have been quite dark for me, when I didn't really have any friends, she was a true friend. And I think I'm just going to include this simply because people say that you live as long as you're remembered for. And I'd like Alex to be remembered because she mattered so much to me. So this is Alex. Shit, how did this happen? I'm not sure how I wrap up a video after that curveball, so I'm sorry for the tone of this video changing very unexpectedly, which I can't help. And at the same time, I didn't want to diverge from, because I believe in being honest. Yes, that's the trade-off, is like I genuinely, like I like to make these videos in a way that I don't look at or even peek at the things I'm about to look at, so you guys get an authentic reaction from me. So, you know, you got that. But I think if there's a way to wrap it up, I think it's with gratitude, because if there's one thing I'm taking from the experience of just going through all of those treasures, it's how grateful I am for the life I had, the childhood I had in my upbringing and my family. Mum for saving all of those things and giving me that wonderful childhood, and my dad for making life fun and going camping, and my friends for those times in my life that they mattered so much and they helped and affected me as a person. And the fact that I've been lucky enough to know who I am since I was very young. And yourselves, you guys have changed my life. You know, when I meet you in person, or when I read your stories online, or when I get to interact with you, I am just so beyond grateful that I get to share my life with you. Yeah, there are certainly ups and downs, you know, to say the least, but at the same time, these are the things that make us. I think sometimes you think you move on from this stuff because you go on and you live your life and you don't carry it with you day to day. But every now and then when it comes back to you, it just hits you. The last time this hit me, especially the loss of my friend Alex, was when I watched that movie by Bo Burnham, the 8th grade one, because it took me back to how vulnerable and isolated and stupid I felt so much, like as a teenager. But it kept reminding me of Alex and how I would have been stuck in that miserable place in my life if I didn't have a friend who appreciated me for me. So there you go, that's Alex. And if you saw the Draw My Life video, that's That's what I was referring to. I am at this point blabbering and repeating myself, especially because I'm feeling incredibly sentimental and quite emotional right now. So I'm just going to wrap it up. But let me just wrap it up by saying thank you for watching. Be it this video or other videos, or just being a part of my story and for sharing yours with me. I hope you enjoyed it. And it would feel a little weird to just do like the normal sign off of saying click videos and subscribe and all that stuff. So I'm just going to wrap it up by thanking you for watching. And I guess for now, that'll do. And until next time, I'll see you later.